Welcome back to another Smart Money Sundays. I wish you all a happy new year and a prosperous 2024. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I've taken a break from trading as we've come into the new year, but now I'm ready to attack the markets and ready for a big year because I believe 2024 will be a very volatile a year in terms of market cycles. And I think there'll be a lot of opportunities across the board for traders in particular. So uh, with all that said and done, let's jump in with DXY. So if you recall, right, DXY has come back to a pivotal level at $100, right, and now it's given us a nice reaction from the low. So what I'm looking for the new week, if I go on the daily, what I'm basically seeing currently is this potential simple head and shoulders, right? We've had the rejection, had the left shoulder, and now we're consolidating at the right shoulder. So what I want to see now in terms of Monday and Tuesday is I want to see a breakout of this consolidation. See is if this low gets taken and we see a reclaim, I will long from 101. Otherwise, if it just keeps consolidating, what I'll be waiting for is a simple clean break above 103 and then look for a retracement, okay, potentially down into 102 level to long back above into my target of 104.2, and then my extended target of back into 105, where basically we had previous imbalance fill. So that's basically the idea. I'm looking for a bullish dollar coming to the new week. So naturally, if I'm bullish on the dollar, that means I'm bearish on EU. Now, I've been bearish on EU since the start of the year. Just to show you, I did sort of have this setup mapped, and I didn't take this setup mainly because I was taking a break from trading, but I did send this setup to the team, as you could see on the 8th, where I was looking for a retest of my particular level, and this was sent out to pro traders who are mentor students, and you could see it came and played out exactly to the T, right? Retested that level perfectly. Now basically what I'm looking for is, again, we've had that same consolidation on the DXY. I'm basically looking for a break below 109 and then a slow retest back into previous resistance to just short it back into my intraday demand level, which is about 108 level. So I'm basically looking for a break and retest of the zone, stops above this wick, right, which could very likely come and get filled again. So I'll be waiting to see a slow retracement, in particular on the lower time frames, to basically take that short. But it all depends on how bullish the break is for the dollar in particular. But it's a very simple setup, and this is how I'll be looking to actually capitalize off the bearish move, right? Now let's go over to gold. Now gold has, let me go on the high time frame on gold quickly, right? So let's start on the high time frame here. So gold has been very simple, right? What we've been seeing the past few weeks, right, is a series of higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right, higher highs, and then potentially a new higher low in process, right? Now another thing you have to keep in mind is we have this big wick, right? We have this big wick that does need to get filled, right? So this is on the low time frame. This is all imbalance, and imbalances get filled, right? Whether you're waiting for them later on to get filled, but they always get filled. Now what I'm seeing on the low time frame is prices come back and wicked out the previous low, right, after it's come into a high time frame resistance. So what I'm looking for is a slow, as you've seen, a slow retracement here, and then a potential reversal after the previous low was swept. So we've seen one tap, two tap, and the third tap. So what I'm basically looking for now in the new week is a small consolidation on the lower time frame back into 2040, right, level. That's where I'll be ideally looking for lower time frame confirmations to long into the previous high. But once I see that swipe of that 4-hour high, my main target or my swing objective is this wick high here, because I believe this wick high will come and get filled, which is 2149. Let's call it 2150. But ideally, what I'm basically looking for in terms of validation is once I see that retest, price should not come below this low, right, where this previous previous daily low was swept, it should not come below that low. That will be my invalidation. So ideally want to be looking for buys into 2038, invalidation below the previous low, right, that was swept. And then target number one, intraday target would be 2088, and then my main swing objective is 2150 basically. Okay, so this is a good high probability setup that I'm looking at on gold coming into the new week, and this is something I'd map out on my charts as well. So let's move over to crypto side of things. So naturally, right, we've been bullish on crypto this past year, but now we're in 2024, which means the cycle has shifted slightly. Now it doesn't mean we're not going to resume going up, but now is usually when you see retracements in the market, when people are getting euphoric, right? And in terms of technical, what we've basically seen occur is we've seen this high get taken out, which is this high here. Now this is usually bearish for me. Okay, now when you see this occur in the market, this is what I'm looking for when I'm looking for bearish triggers in the market. Okay, now on the high time frame, we're still bullish, but it doesn't mean that we're not likely going to see some sort of retracement before we see potentially come out and take out new highs coming into post halving. But halving is in April, so we still have about a full quarter, so we have about 3-4 months before that occurs, and a lot can happen until then, right? Especially because now the ETF news was approved. Now stock market, a lot of the stock players are now in the market, which means more manipulation is on the rise, right? Which is good and bad. But in terms of what I'm looking for in terms of the lower time frames is I'm looking for shorts. So what I want to see is we've basically been in this uptrend for the past 2 months, right? Now what I want to see is a bounce from this trend line, right? Get more people euphoric, or get dumb money to dump more money into the market, thinking we're going to keep going higher. Remember, this is the ETF high post news, right? This is what retail traders are going to think. They're going to think price is going to just bounce and keep going higher. Not saying that it will, but I just think it's highly unlikely. What I'm looking for is usually this is where traps occur. What I'll be looking for is short triggers within 47k to short this back down into 33k level. Now the 33k level is where I'll ideally be looking to load up on dips in the market as a whole, and the altcoin market as well. So that's where I ideally you'd want to have some cash sitting on the sidelines, basically be buying below 35k. But for now, in terms of this week, is I'm looking for shorts, right? Especially if the dollar is going to be bullish, that means risk on assets are going to be bearish. So I'm bearish on BTC. However, on Ethereum, the story is a little different. Now on the on the lower time frames, right? Now if you recall on the previous Smart Money Sunday, this is the setup. Now you would have seen it actually played out quite nicely, right? Price came a little below the previous low on 21.33, but this long was very much valid, and it hit my target to a T, which was $2,700 before we see we saw the potential reversal. But now what I'm looking at on the lower time frames is I'm still bullish, but on again lower time frames I'm bearish, right? Now if you can see this, you would have seen we've had 3 drives, which is usually a distribution phase, right, on the lower time frames. Now what I'm looking for is a retracement into 26.5, where I'll be looking for shorts basically down into my long target of 23.50. Now 23.50 is where I'll be looking to load up on Ethereum, right, and take some longs into my main objective, which is still 3,000. I believe 3,000 will get hit. Now my main reason for this thesis to occur, right, is basically we've seen Bitcoin already hit the its previous high, which is the 48k, and I think Ethereum is now lagging behind, which is now going to play catch up. I think Ethereum will see 3,500 this quarter, and I think that's going to give alts a rise too before we see a cool down period before the halving. So that's sort of my thesis. But in terms of this week, this is what I'm basically looking at. I'm going to be looking for the sells, which I will be taking, by the way. I will share them with premium analysis members and pro traders members. If you are interested in any of those services, links will be in the description down below. But I will be, as soon as I see my triggers, I will be taking shorts from 26 26.5 roughly, and then longs into 23.5. So that's sort of my game plan of Ethereum, and that's how I'll be looking to play various different alts. Alts I won't share here. I only share with members. But this is sort of the cycle I want to see come into this first Q1 of 2024. And this is usually how it plays, because you see Bitcoin slow down, and when you start seeing Bitcoin start ranging and slowing down, that's when money starts flowing into Ethereum, and then from Ethereum you go into mid caps and low caps. So that's usually how the crypto money cycle flows, right? So I hope you guys saw value from this video, but please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you saw if you found this useful, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.